And I think it's having that vision and knowing, oh, maybe eventually we'll be the two women on a cover of Forbes magazine.
Today we're in Hong Kong speaking with female millennial entrepreneurs Maggie Lau and Anita Chan. The first thing that I want to hear is how did we get here? I mean, how did you start your entrepreneur journey into creating Stand Local? And what brought you here to Hong Kong? Because I know originally you were in California.
Right.
So tell me about the story.
You go first?
Sure. For us, we met about 3 years ago. We both individually moved to Hong Kong. I moved with a corporate job here and have had a few different jobs in Hong Kong. And during that time, we were discussing different business things we were interested in. So we'd always gone to different networking events, heard about different people's business ideas. Mm-hmm. And then at some point, we're like, oh, this idea is pretty cool. You know what? That's a problem. We should fix that. That's a problem. We should fix that. And then we finally got to this idea where we started getting really more serious about it and spending a lot of time on weekends to try to work on it and figure out, okay, what can we do to fix it? Is this really the problem? And that's how we then started working on Sample Local and, going more into this business journey.
So what was the, catalyst to going from a corporate job to building a business? I mean, I always feel like there's problems and that need solutions. But I'm like, oh, well, now I'm going to jump off of the corporate ship and into like the entrepreneurial ocean. So,
personally for me, I think I always knew that I would do something on my own eventually. My background is that my grandparents and my parents were both entrepreneurs. And so I got to watch a lot of businesses start and fail along the way growing up. And so I think that it's kind of like built into me that this is something that I want to do. And it's something I want to experience, even though, they say that your first startup generally fails. I'm totally ready for it. They say fail fast. So it's like, okay, let's fail fast and get it over with, like peeling off a Band-Aid. But yeah, I think it's something that is really cool to own something of your own and to be in total control of the direction that it goes, who you hire and who you help and the problems that you solve. And it's something I want to be a part of.
That's awesome. What about you?
It was quite different for me. I think I'd always heard about other people wanting to be entrepreneurs, and I didn't think about that. I felt like there's not enough things I know. I won't know enough things to build a whole business by myself. And I think gradually, especially after moving to Hong Kong, meeting a lot of different people, being exposed to more different things and working the different corporate jobs and realizing I want more control to be able to fix these problems, or there's something wrong with this that I feel like it's starting to not fit. Like I kind of can't be, I'll just settle for this. I settle for this. Like I didn't want that anymore. And I think as we started discussing problems we wanted to fix, and knowing that there's someone I can work with on this, where I can, oh, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I think knowing that you have that support helps a lot. And that gradually led us to this journey of like, I think I'm ready. Like it started to feel more and more ready. I can't be doing this job anymore, and I know I want to fully commit myself to working on this business. And so it
How did you two come together on this? I mean, it sounds like you came from different places. You knew you wanted it.
I did know.
You didn't know, but you were like, I need to do something about this. I can't watch this thing and not do anything about it. So how did you?
Like she said, we kind of threw around a lot of ideas, and we had previously been working on a different idea, and we were working on it. And then I went home one year, I think it was last year, in November.
Home being California.
California. Okay. And I came back, I was talking to a friend about an idea, and then she suggested this idea, the Stand Local idea. And then I brought it back to Hong Kong, and we discussed it, and we're like, wow, that's a pretty good one,
It's one of those, like, they weren't going to do these businesses, but there's something that we felt like it covered what our mission was, like what we wanted to do, but just the method of how the business was going to be run was different. So we're like, oh, this is a better way to solve this problem. And so then we started.
So tell me about the problem and your vision of the solution.
So let me give the background story on how kind of the idea evolved. After moving to Hong Kong, we've traveled a lot because Hong Kong is very centrally located in Asia. And there aren't too many places that are further than a 3.5-4 hour flight. And so, we'd go to Taiwan, we'd go to Korea, the Philippines, wherever. And every time we traveled, for example, let's say we're going to Taipei, we would contact a friend that lived in Taipei. We'd be like, hey, we're coming next week. Are you free? If you're not free to hang out with us, do you have any recommendations on what it is we should be eating, should be seeing, doing? And generally, they'd be like, yeah, come on over, we'll hang out, I'll take you to local awesome places to eat. And so that's kind of how we traveled when we were going to Taipei. We did the same thing when we went to Seoul. And then it's like, well, when people come visit us in Hong Kong, we do the same thing for them. We take them to the places that we've discovered as we've explored Hong Kong quite a bit. And so if you're going to some place, let's say now I'm going to Myanmar, it's like, well, I don't know anybody there. What would I do? I wouldn't have the same experience if I kind of just researched things on my own and or took a tour group. And so the issue or the problem that we're trying to solve is giving people access to a local friend worldwide, anywhere they go, to have the best cultural and local experience that they can get when they travel.
So it's very specific to people who are looking for a local and cultural experience.
It's kind of based on whatever it is you want to see. So for example, I really like sporty things. So I love swimming, I love outdoor activities. And so if I go to Myanmar, I probably want to go to a hike or any other thing that is outdoorsy there. See, like I don't know what it has to offer. So for example, Hong Kong, you can actually snorkel and scuba dive. But would you know that? Like going through travel websites and stuff.
It's so difficult.
Yeah, you get a lot of places to eat, a lot of shopping for Hong Kong, and going to the Peak and seeing the Big Buddha. But there are a lot of things that Hong Kong offers that you just wouldn't even know existed to go look for it. And so that's kind of the gap that we want to fill. It's like, well, if I'm interested in outdoors activity, I want to have somebody that's a local be able to tell me all of the options that I have, and then also accompany me and go do it with me.
So is the vision to provide a seamless local experience, or is it about just someone putting in a request and getting some sort of output? I mean, is there like a broader, what do you want to see from these people who are using your platform?
I guess one of the things is we want people to have the opportunity not to, if they chose not to have a tour group and they didn't really want to self-plan, there's something in between. So the in-between is using a local to take you around. And what we ultimately want to see is people connecting with other people, not just to find destinations. So yes, I can go on a hike, I can go somewhere to eat, but also for them to learn from the local. It doesn't have to be someone that originally is from that city, but just someone that lives there that can tell you, oh, that's the reason that building looks like that. Culturally, people do that when they eat because of this other reason. We feel like the experience isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey that you go through and the questions that you can ask for this local. So we want people to understand more about other cultures, other places that you can't see from looking through a guidebook. And so ultimately we want a worldwide community where everyone who travels has a friend.
That's beautiful. I mean, it sounds like you're very much speaking to the millennial soul. Like, we're all humans, and we're part of the human race versus we're from here, we're from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then just inviting them around the world to explore and experience the journey and physical and all the other different things. Mm-hmm. That's really, really great.
Coming from the other side, there's kind of two sides to the business. We call the travel side the demand side, the traveler side, the demand side. And then there's also the locals who are the supply side. And so we imagine that for the supply side, it's a different career path that they can take. And it's already, these things about Hong Kong, for example, are things that they already know. And so if somebody didn't want to go into banking or go into consulting or law, because those are very prevalent things in Hong Kong, it's like there's a different way to earn money to support yourself. And we want to give people a way to use the knowledge that they already have and the passion that they already have for Hong Kong to be able to support themselves.
That's awesome. So are you starting off with Hong Kong first and then expanding. Is that what you're saying? Hong Kong, giving
Yeah.
Hong Kongese, is that a word?
Or
Hong Kong citizens.
people. Yeah,
They call them Hong Kongers, Hong Kongese.
Okay.
There's a
Hong Kong people.
Yeah.
People who live in Hong Kong. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, actually, in our travels, we've met people who really love history, and they really love to talk about their community.
Right.
And you learn so much about them, and they said that I can't make this a job. So you're actually creating a path for creatives that maybe don't have that. Maybe they want to do it on the weekend. And so, what does it at the end of the day, if it's a business, how do you plan on making money?
So it would be the traveler would book the time with a local that they choose. And then it would be a per hour. So let's say it's 3 hours and they'll charge you, let's say 100 Hong Kong dollars per hour. And then our company would take a percentage of that.
That's really simple.
So we would just grow and scale.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you're providing benefit to two different groups of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's a lot of talks in Hong Kong about how there's so much pressure on people, and people are always so nervous and just so tightly squeezed between working long hours and not having enough space. And so it's us wanting to provide a relief to that there is a different path in life, that you don't have to go into the corporate world and work 15 hours a day and be really stressed all the time. It's, kind of giving them the path of do whatever it is you want. You don't have to go into the corporate world. You can do things on your own and do things that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And also to add to that, besides being a career path, we do realize that this could be something you do on the weekends, whether you want to use it to meet other people, you're just curious about other cultures, you don't have the opportunity or the funds to travel, you can meet people that are visiting from other places, practice your foreign language skills. So we felt like there were a lot of areas where different people can benefit from this